Hey guys, it's Chelsea. This is my second time filming this, so I'm a little annoyed. I don't know how many of you that watch this actually create content on here, but it's so frustrating when like 3/4 of the video is good, but that last fourth you're just like, what are you talking about? Now I have to remake the whole thing. But anyway, I have some tea here today. It's chai tea. I'm not trying to be like any of those gossip channels. It's just kind of chilly today, y'all. In Florida, it's getting below 60, so I got the long sleeves, I got the tea, and also because when I film videos that are going to be longer, you can kind of hear my voice gets kind of like so tea will help, keep things going here. First of all, I just want to say thank you guys so much. We are at 890 subscribers, and before you know it, we'll be at 900. Before you know it, we'll be at 1,000, and I will die. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna die. That would be an awful celebration. But I will, like, have a heart attack. No, that's not good. You will hear me from, like, a mountaintop screaming, like, oh my God, because even though it is so minuscule compared to the amount of subscribers some people have on here, like 49 million, to me it is a milestone, a huge freaking milestone, and it makes me so happy. I just can't believe it. How, every time I see that number grow, it makes me so happy that more of you are joining this crazy, because I understand it's not like I have a certain theme to my videos and it makes it kind of hard to watch. You're not getting necessarily drama with me, you're not getting cooking videos, you're not getting makeup, you're getting kind of a mix of everything. You're not getting lifestyle vlogs. Just that you're getting like a mix of all of those things, so I know it can be kind of weird to be subscribed to that and be like, what are we getting this week? But anyway, thank you guys so much. I love you all so much. Last announcement, my fall semester is kind of coming to an end, and then I'm gonna be on break for a little while, so I'm gonna be able to be filming videos like that. So please, if you guys want videos, you need to leave me some suggestions down below. I want to make another video in my dating series video. I'm not sure what it's gonna be on yet, but you could leave that below, and just any suggestions of things you want me to talk about or do. If we want a challenge, we want to vlog, what do we want? Let me know, because I'm gonna have time to film, but if I don't have something to film, then I can't film. Do we understand? Okay, so this is a very weird video. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna title it. Probably like 2016 sucked or something. But I don't want that to put you in any sort of mood. I want you guys to listen to what I'm saying here, because there's a message to this video. It's not just a bunch of complaining. I think it's important for all of us as human beings, when we go through life, to not only live life but reflect. Every once in a while, I think it's important to reflect on how far you've come, what you've accomplished, where you can do better, how can you improve. All of these things that I feel like sometimes we just get into emotion and we forget to do, and then that's when problems happen, and that's when we're not being our best selves. And obviously the year is kind of coming to a close, and it's going to be 2017 before you know it, and I think now is a good time before the hustle and bustle of the holidays to kind of sit down and reflect on where you're at, where do you want to go, where do you want to be, are you doing what makes you happy, do you need a vacation? No, I'm just kidding. But, I think it's a good time right now to kind of start thinking about that kind of stuff. And I completely believe in New Year's resolutions. I think they're so hard to accomplish. But this year, I have some things that I want to accomplish and also some reflecting to do. So that's what this video is going to be about for me. It's just kind of like a conversation about my life, like personal things that have happened this year that kind of sucked, and also things that happened nationwide that sucks, as like a reflection for myself. And I also want you guys at home to do this for yourself too. Really think about what's happened around you in your own life, and think about what's happened around you in your nation or your country, and reflect and see where you can do better and what you can do to make things better and grow and change as a person. We're gonna get into it, okay? This tea is getting cold. Okay, not very good anymore. Let's start out with some personal things. If I ever look at my phone, like I'm trying to open it so I can look at the notes, but I think I have it all kind of in my head. This year, reflecting back, I wanted so much more out of it, and I feel like a lot of people agree with this. I really felt like 2016 was going to be my year to figure out what I wanted to do, to put an end to my anxiety, to find the person I really need to be with. And it was the complete opposite. I feel like my anxiety on the day-to-day is at an all-time high. At least once a week I have like a panic attack, and it happens usually at night. And it's so hard to calm myself down. And so that's kind of been on an all-time high. And then, you know, my dating life, which I've exposed on here, is poo. And you know, I got to date for the first time being an adult, and it really sucked. And being single for the longest I'd been single since I was in high school, it was kind of poo. And a lot of that has kind of changed now, but I'm not going to get into all the details on that. Things in that nature are getting better, but still, in general, thinking about it, I had a breakdown during, I think, being single for how long I've been single. I would have like a breakdown for at least a month. Like at the end of every week I would have a breakdown about something that happened that week, and how I felt used and there wasn't a man for me, and just all these different things. Also, my sister moved out, which is something that got me emotionally, and I didn't think it was at all. I was super like happy for her, like, you do you, boo boo, go on. It got a little emotional for me because one day I was driving home and it kind of hit me that things were never going to be the same. That, you know, me and my sister living with my parents and our 2 dogs and our house that we've lived in forever, it was never going to be like that again. And I'm kind of a creature of habit, so it affected me in not only that way, like my routine is messed up, but also because that bond, that kind of like, I don't know, like life was never going to be the same. Like, she's gone, soon I'll be gone, my parents are going to be living their own lives, and of course I'm going to visit them all the time because I love them more than anything. But it's weird and it's different, and it's like we're becoming adults, and not the adults that live at home, but the adults that go on and do different things with their lives. And my sister's an OT and I'm this, and our parents are this, and it's crazy like to think about. So that happened just recently, kind of at the end of this year. It's not, oh my gosh, like I think about it all the time, emotional, but it's still something that kind of like hits you in certain moments, and you're just like, things will never be the same. And her room is cleared out. It's actually already became a storage unit. There, my parents are already putting shit in there, and she's been gone for like a week. So it's funny in that sense, but personally, things just haven't been that good. And also the biggest thing is, you know, this year I really thought I was gonna find out what I wanted to do with my life. I was actually just watching, literally before filming this, a video by Shannon Rose talking about her experience kind of living out what I've been talking about on my channel, which is the fact that I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to go to college for. I've made my video why I dropped out of college, yada yada yada. And Shannon Rose actually just made a video talking about it, why I dropped out of school, and she basically lived out what I don't want to do, which is go to a bunch of schools, get a bunch of degrees and certifications I don't want, waste a bunch of money when I could put that towards investments or something else. So it's eye-opening to see that someone else, and I'm sure a lot of other people are going through that, but it's still very frustrating for myself. I really thought this year I was gonna have it figured out. There's still like a month left, but what the hell are you gonna figure out in a month? But yeah, so a bit disappointing for me. I really need that next year. I need to figure out what I want to do. I can't just keep taking prerequisite classes at community colleges. Like, it's not, I'm not advancing towards anything I want to advance towards. So anyway, but yeah, so, ew, what is that? It's like a piece of tape. I thought it was a piece of skin. I was like, oh my god, I need to go to the hospital. But anyway, so yeah, those were kind of like my big disappointments for this year, and I think, and it's important for all of you guys kind of look at those yourself. Now talking about some kind of nationwide just kind of like disappointments and reflections on 2016, I feel like this year, I can only really speak about the US because that's where I live, but police brutality got a huge spotlight this year. I think it's a problem that's been going on for a while, but with the recent, you know, social media everywhere, everyone has a phone ready to film anything. that got a huge spotlight because people aren't necessarily getting away with what they used to get away with, and it really showed that there are issues in certain police sanctions, I don't know what you call it, in departments, I guess you could say, that need to be addressed. And I don't think it's any one person's fault or any one person's problem. I love police officers. I love what they do for this country. They put their lives, you know, a lot of people are so, you know, people pledge the military, respect the military so much, and that's such a beautiful thing because they deserve that, because they do put their lives on the line. But you can't forget about the people at home that put their lives on the line too, which are your firefighters, your police officers, that get a decent amount of respect, and a lot of people are kind of scared of them, but not necessarily firefighters, but police officers. And you shouldn't be. Like, it should be respect, but it shouldn't be scared. And I feel like this year that's what a lot of us went through. And a lot of people lost respect for them. A lot of people were scared of them. And I just think there's some things that need to be done. But I love police officers, military, firefighters, any of you that put your lives on the line for those of us that maybe some of us don't even deserve it. But thank you so much for that. I'm not bringing this up trying to like hate on police officers or start a riot or anything. I'm just saying that I don't know, I feel like there's a long way to go with that, and I hope that people don't forget about that. I feel like a lot of recent events have kind of brushed that under the rug, but it still is a big problem in our society because it brings up a lot of things like social injustices and racism, and all those things when it comes to police brutality get brought back up. So why not just deal with them so we can start dealing with that and all the other issues. But anyway, Pulse night. Hold on, I need some tea. Oh my god. Okay. Woo! Tea almost went everywhere, y'all. Pulse nightclub shooting. I feel like that just opened the whole nation's eyes. I feel like it opened the LGBTQ community up. And gave a moment for people that weren't necessarily supporting that cause. Because here's the thing. I feel like that tragedy, like I was just saying, opened a lot of people up that didn't necessarily understand what people of the LGBTQ community deal with on a daily basis. I feel like a lot of people look at them and be like, you know, you're doing too much, no one's oppressing you, like, stop, like, you're just wanting attention. Like, a lot of people in that community get that label, but a lot of people like myself who are straight, heterosexuals, I don't understand what they go through. And I feel like that situation was a huge eye-opener for people, because it showed people, oh my god, there are people in this nation that want to do that to people just because of that. No other reason, not because they're a bad person, not because they did anything to them, but just for the simple fact of who they want to lay in bed with that night, which is no one's business. And I feel like it opened a lot of people up, and it's so sad, and it happened so close to home, and it's like I knew people living in that town, and I was so scared for them, and I kept getting the Facebook notifications all night, like, mark safe, mark safe. It was crazy. And I just hope people don't forget about that. I hope we take the lessons we learned from that this year and bring them into next year. Same thing with police brutality. Take the lessons we learned this year, bring them into next year, and do better, because that was a low freaking moment for this country. And it was so sick when people after in certain churches and stuff were kind of condoning it, saying it was God's work, you know, trying to get rid of people like that. And it was, oh my god, I'll never forget when I read that. I was like, that's probably the most unchristian, ungodly statement I've ever heard, and you claim to serve a God. I mean, it was so sad for me to read that, and I'm sure many other people. Lives were lost, whether you support their cause and their community. They're still human lives, and it's a senseless tragedy, and I just hope people don't forget about it and brush it under the rug. Also, Christina Grimmie, that I feel like was very eye-opening for people, not only in the entertainment industry, but also YouTube and content creators and stuff that need to watch themselves, because you never know. You never know. How many times am I gonna say you never know? But you just don't. And even at a simple meet and greet, you just letting your guard down for 1 second, not having security for 1 second, could could very well be the end of your life. And God bless her. She did, you know, she did what she loved to do, and unfortunately, it's a heartbreaking story. All of these subjects are very heartbreaking, and I hate talking about them. But we can't forget about them. We have to learn from them, understand that they happened, remember that they happened, and move forward. Also, last but not least on my topics, even though I don't really want to talk about this, we're going to talk about this. The presidential election that happened this year, with Donald Trump being our president-elect for the next 4 years. Let me just say I'm glad it happened. I've done a lot of reflecting. I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube of people just being like, man, like, he's not my president, or people being like, it's okay, like, you know, and I've come to my personal opinion that I am glad it happened, because whether people realize it or not, there were so many people in this country that like shut their eye to politics and didn't care and thought the votes were rigged, and just, you know, basically contributed to this happening. And I'm not trying to blame any certain person or anything. You can vote for whoever you want to vote for. That's your business. But all I'm saying is I hope it happened for a reason, because it made this country open their eyes to the fact that you should be voting, because that right is something that people fought for and have to fight for in other countries, and we are so blessed to have that. And then there's the people that were like, well, it was rigged, or we thought it was rigged, we thought Hillary was gonna win, so we didn't vote. And it's just like, you should always vote. And that whole thing about it being scammed, whatever, you know, that's a whole other thing in itself. And then people throwing away their vote, you know, submitting Selena Gomez and Harambe, like, rest in peace Harambe, but he can't be president, you know what I mean? So why would you do that? And it's kind of almost like making a joke out of it, and it's not a joke. It's very important. And I feel like a lot of people in the older generation understand that importance, and a lot of us in the younger generation don't. And we need to be more involved in politics, because it's going to affect us more than them, because we're the ones that are going to have to live through it the longest and deal with the repercussions the longest, and our kids are going to have to deal with it. We're going to have to deal with raising our kids in a time that we create. And I'm glad it happened, because I hope that it'll never happen again. And I hope that people aren't so lax and chill about politics, because it can and it will affect your everyday life. And so many people are so scared now and all this stuff, and I really feel for them. And I wish, like, we had a better choice of president. I'm not even saying I wish Hillary Clinton was president. I just wish that we had better options, that we were given two amazing candidates that both parties could be proud of. And anyway, so it's been a rough year for not only me personally, but as a nation. I hope that next year is so much better. I love you all so much. Stay strong, set goals, reflect on yourself, and do what you can every day to become a better person, a more aware person. And I will see you guys next time here on Life of Chelsey. Bye-bye.